afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Carnation Crafts TV. I'm Laura. We have Bunny next door. This is our second show of the day, and for this show we are looking at Held Dear collection. Now, we have brought this to you at a show price, and we've brought this in because you do have a brand new download for this. You've got a brand new colorway for this, and the colorway has been designed to be more autumnal and more in keeping with the Seated in Serenity. So if you saw that show earlier, you'll see the colorways kind of coordinate more with that. So if you did see the show earlier, you'll see a lot of the samples I showed you had bits from this collection in, and we are going to go through that show again at 2 o'clock. So if you missed that show, make sure you tune in for that. Now, if we go through the Held Dear collection, you'll see everything that you get. So you've got cherished glassware card shapes to start off with. This is such a lovely set. You've got those jars. These could be vases, they could be jam jars, masonry jars, it could be a wine bottle, it could be, you know, a holiday bottle. There's so many different ways that you can mix this up. You've got the tags in there, you've got the bows in there, the ribbons, you've got the cork as well to go on the top. You've got the lids, or you could use these as bands to go around there. You've even got the like message in the bottle on the bottom as well. And you've got those tags as well that you can mix and match in. And you've also got these, which are seeds. They were seeds, weren't they? Coins! I thought that, I got it the wrong way around. So I thought they were seeds. But then Bunny told me, no, they're coins for at the bottom of the bottle. But I thought they were seeds. So mix and match those up in different ways. Then we've got Uplifting Friends. So you can see you've got the cutest characters there, look, with their arms raised. And then you can place things so it looks as if they're holding them. So you've got that tray. You've also got the carrot and the cheese as well. So they can be holding those. They could be holding the message, they could be holding so many different things. You can mix these up as well. They could be holding up flowers, you can mix them up. They could even be holding the tags with the sentiment on, but you've got them there in that pose ready for your projects. Then we'll go down to, where do you want to go? Happy Mail next. So you've got that lovely envelope there, you've even got the ribbon. I love that you've got that little wax seal as well, so you can pop that on there. You could close the envelope. The envelope on the inside, that's actually a full cut line, so you can actually tuck things into the envelope as well, so it looks like, you know, you've opened it and that letter is coming out. So it's a very realistic one. Then you have the fanned flourishes. These are so useful. You can use these to tuck in behind your flowers. You can use these as vases. They are just really, really pretty. You can mirror them up and use them on the top and the bottom to make a completely different shape. Or equally with that corner one, you could add 4 of those together and make like a doily shape. So lots of different ways to use those. Then we've got Fluttering By. I think every crafter needs a good set of butterflies in their stash, and this is perfect. You've got them in different sizes. You can see different patterns there. They just work perfectly. Absolutely every collection you have, you can mix those in with them. And then you've got the sleek florals. If I just, there you go. So you can see there, look at them flowers. You've got, and now you can see there an array of different ones. Now the stems on here as well are quite long, so you could have these coming out of the bottles if you wanted to and mix them up. And then you've got the foliage there, so you can kind of create your own design with these flowers, so they work perfectly. I'm going to show you some samples. Now these samples have been made using the new download, so you'll see how the colours in this will coordinate with the Seated in Serenity. If I just pop that next to it, okay, you can see how they have been made to coordinate in. So the colours will work really nicely together. But you can see there, look at him holding his flowers up. They look so cute. Or you could use the bottle. What I really like about this is when you look at the bottles and the jars, you've got so many card bases that you can use straight away. So you've got lots of different card shapes to start off with. And then look, holding his little cheese. And you can see there how the envelope, you can see how you can tuck things into it. So that cut line goes completely across the envelope. So you can tuck sentiments in there, or you could tuck something else in there. Oh, I've got two there. So that one was done by Sue. Then I've got one here by Pam. It's so pretty with those flowers. And you can see how the flowers, you can use them in so many different ways, because you can just build them up where you want them to be. Like this one by Barbara. Look, they look as if they're like growing out of the ground, and then he's just cheekily come in and pinched a carrot out of somebody's garden is what that looks like. Yeah, but they look absolutely beautiful. Then I've got one here by Vera. Look. So you can see there a really nice way of showing you how you can use the flowers, because those stems are long. And then Vera's also put some like glossy accent look on the bottom with some bubbles, with some gems to look like bubbles. How effective does that look? And with those flowers there, if I just grab that and put that there, so you can see, look, how those, even if I tuck that there, look, you could easily add those flowers into this card from the Seated in Serenity. So you can really see how they perfectly coordinate together, don't they? So you can just add that in. So those flowers that I showed you earlier, you could easily add these in to them. And then I got one here by Pam. Pull me up. Do you think? Oh, look, ready? Oh, that's a nice idea. Oh, that's so cute. You could put little like secret messages, couldn't you, in the jars? That's such a nice idea. And then Pam did that one. I got one here by Vera. Look. Oh, they are so cute. And then this is such a lovely one. Such a clean, simple looking card. This one's done by Pam. How lovely is that? Really, really lovely. And you can see there how Pam's used one of those tuck-ins, the fan flourishes on the bottom of those flowers. And then I've got another one here using that. This one's by Barbara. So you can see there that fan flourish. It just adds that extra little bit of detail into it, doesn't it? Oh, it does. Bunny's just said they look like little wedding favours. They could be like place settings, yeah, names. You could use them in so many different ways. Like the bottles, they could be anything, couldn't they? Because I think, you know, now I feel like crafters, we use bottles, we recycle bottles and like jars, and we use them for so many different things that you could do the exact same thing with these. So these could be like, you could put like sand on the bottom. You know, people put like sand in with the different names of the places. So you put a bit of sand in from like when you've been to Spain, and then you add a bit of sand from a different place. You know, you could make it more like holiday feeling, or you could make them into portion bottles. You could, you know, they could be cooking. You could make them Christmassy. There's just so many different ways that you could actually make these bottles into different themes. You know, exactly how you would if it was a real bottle. Really mix and match these up. I'm going to grab the board so you can see exactly what each one comes like. So you've got Happy Mail. So you can see there your envelope. So this bit does got a complete cut, so you can tuck your letters in there. You've got the seal as well. Now the board I'm showing you, this is in the original colorway, okay, but you do have the free colorway available now on the website to go and download. This is Fluttering By, so those lovely butterflies. You've got a nice variety of sizes there as well, so you've got them to fit into any area, or if you just need like a little something to go somewhere, these are going to be perfect for them. Then you've got Sleek Florals, so you've got those stunning flowers that you can just build up your own design with these, and you can see the difference in the colourways. If I bring that in, so you can see, look how that's now changed to cream, how this has turned to yellow. So you can see how that will fit in more with the Seated in Serenity. But equally, you could print them out like this, print them out in the new one, and mix and match them together as well to give you more variety. It just gives us more to use. Then you've got the fan flourishes. I think these are so lovely. Like I said, add another one on the bottom. You could add another one there, and then you could put something there. You could cut 4 of these out and make it like a doily shape. So you could really go in and mix and match these up and play around with them. But great for little tuck-ins, great to add in around those flowers as well. Then you've got Uplifting Friends. So you've got the cutest little carrot. Look at him. He is so cute. Holding their arms up, look, so they could be holding the tray. You could put something else on there. You know, like some of the samples we showed you, they could be holding flowers, the scroll. There's so many different ways that you could use them. You know, you could just be holding like one of the sentiments on there. All right, and then we go into the jars. So your cherished glassware card shape. So you can see you've got a lot in here, okay? So when you look at them, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different jars. So these are your 2 largest ones. Lovely that they're all different sizes as well, so you can really mix and match these up or build a card with these. I think we did have like this one. So this has got some of the things from Seated in Serenity, but you can see how you can just have those jars together and build that card base using the mats as well. And you can see there as well how they are different colours. So you've got, yeah, they're a bit more warm, a bit more in fitting with the like autumn colourways. So you can see the difference there. But they're lovely sizes to be able to add them in together. You've got those tags, such a usable one that you will use all year round. You've got the ribbon. Now these are the coins. Now please somebody tell me they look like seeds. I was convinced that they were seeds. I just thought, oh, they're little seeds to go on the bottom of the jar. They would. That's a good, Bunny's just said they'd go really well with the bird. They would go well with it. Do you know what? Now I'm seeing them like that. But the other colour, the new colourway, they're all kind of the same colour. See, that's the new colourway. And there, they're kind of like gold and silver. Whereas there, they're all brown. So that's what I seen. So I was like, oh, they're seeds. So yeah, it could be seeds, they could be coins. And then you've got that message in a bottle. You've got these bits. Now equally, they could be the lid. You could use these as almost like as if you've wrapped twine around the edges. And you've got the stops as well to go in the top too. Now I am just going to show you as well the tiara topped card shape. I absolutely love this. I think it is so pretty. This is an additional item, so this is not included in the collection, but I think it is so worth getting this if you can. Now, if I just bring that in, just to show you that even just using 1, 2, 3, 4, out of all of those dies, you use 4, this is the card shape that you have got. You've got that lovely window there, and you can pop an image in. Or you could use the mats and layers and add them in. It just looks, for me, there's just something really striking about it. It looks really different. I instantly think of like wedding cards. Just seeing it in white, it just instantly, when I go to wedding card, engagement card, a baby card, you can make such beautiful cards with this. If you didn't use the mats and layers there in this part, you would only have this section that you would have to worry about. You could essentially pop a sentiment on the bottom and one of the characters there, and that could be your complete card, and it would look absolutely amazing. So really, if you can add this one in, I think this is such a lovely one to get. And again, something that you would use all year round. You could make that Christmassy, you could make it Halloween, you could make it for Valentine's. It's an all year round card shape. Right, so Well, I get my demo. Just to remind you, this is the Healthier collection. It's item number 240404. It is on a show price for you, which will go back up Monday to full price. You have got, though, on the website, the brand new colourway, which is free of charge to download, but it is such a good price. It is $99.99, so you are in your free P&P bracket. You've also got the QR code there as well. Right, shall we make it? Right, so I'm going to start off with the Cherished glassware card shapes. Now I've used the longer, the biggest one. So from the ones we showed you, this is the biggest one. So I've cut two, and you can see I've just popped a little score line across the top, and I'm just going to glue this. So that is just going to sit on there, and that's going to give me my card shape. So you've got such a different card shape straight away. And I feel like we upcycle, you know, we always try and like reuse and recycle things. And I'd say, you know, glasses and jars is probably one of the main ones that we use, you know, especially for decorating like Christmas time and Halloween. I think they get used so much. And then I'm going to come in with the fan flourishes. Now this is the matte, okay, and I am going to, so I've just put a bit of glue on one side so you can see that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift that up. So I've pulled this down, okay, so it's sitting on the lip of the mat. And I'm going to do the same thing with this, so I know that they're straight. And I'm just going to glue that there, so it's just coming off of that bottle. So that's going to just be like that, okay? And then they're really pretty. Now I've got the flourish, it's a bit hard for you to see, there you go. So you've got the flourish. Now these I think would look amazing if you double them up. You could have it like that, and you could quite easily have that, it's a bit hard for you to see. Have that like that, and then just go in, pop. I haven't got everything yet because obviously this is not what I was planning to do, but if you popped, let's cut it off, you know, a couple of your flowers on there like that, on that flourish. And then you could, so you'd have that was it like that, pop your sentiment on there. That could be your card. And that, you know, you could just make a DL shape, that could be a card, and you've created that whole shape using the flourish, which I just think they're so usable. You could equally, if you wanted to, so exactly what I've done now, using the flourish, you could do the same thing with the mat. So if you cut the mat out, cut another one of the mat out, so that was there, and then stick them on so that they're stuck together, and then that's your complete card shape. And that's such an unusual shape, and it really, because of the way that it comes into the center, that draws your eye in so much. I think you could do that with the mat, stick these on, and just stick a sentiment in the center, and that would look so pretty. And just have that like that as your card, and that would look so lovely. So lots of different ways that you can bring these together. Now I'm just going to, I want these because I'm putting this on here and it's going to be white on white, okay? So I'm going to just stick the bottle down. Actually, no, I'm going to stick these on first. So I wanted this to stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to just glue two together just to give it a bit more height. So when I put it on there, it just stands out that little bit more. So I'm just going to get an even amount of glue around that, and then stick this one just right on top of there. So that's just going to go like that. So, and I've done that just because when I put that on there now, that just stands out a little bit more now, because it's just got a little bit more thickness to it. So it's just a bit more prominent when that's down, because it is white on white. So I'm just going to hold this bottle in place, because I'm going to glue that with Pinflower, but I don't want to push it down. So I'm going to just stick that to the bottle, and then actually we'll use tape, and then we can tape this down. And then before I tape this down, I need to put the cork in the bottle. So let's pull this one off first, and then if I grab a cork, and then we'll put that about there like that. So you've got that like that. And then if I just spin this round, we'll take these two off. And then that is just going to sit, put a little bit of glue on there. So this is just going to be a little bit elevated in the middle, but that's going to help this to kind of stand out a little bit more. So that is going to go on there like that, and then that will just sit there like that. So this is our card base, so you can see that. So you can add them on the side. Now you could add another one this side if you wanted to, or you could add the corner ones, so you've got them going like that. So they, as much as they're great little tuck-ins and things, you can absolutely make them the focal point as well and add in different elements. Right, now I'm going to bring in our cheeky little mouse. Now I'm going to just give him or her a bit of shape. Right, so that's going to go about there, and then let's stick these on. So I'm going to add the sentiment. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the top, and that's going to kind of like hang there. And then I've got some of the string, it's almost like twine, this like a pre-made bow. So you've got that. Now I'm going to pop this just where that tag hole is, so it looks as if we've just popped that on with a bit of twine. And then we're going to bring in a couple of the different flourishes and things like that. So this one, I'm going to just cut these down a little bit, so you can see you've got different lengths on these. So I'm just going to cut them so they're not all the same length, but they are a bit shorter than what they were. So that's going to just sit there like that. So let's just pop a bit of glue on these, and then that is going to sit there like that. And he is going to go there, so I'm going to build some flowers around him. So I'm going to start with this one. So like I said, you have got the new colorway on the website, free to download, which is what I am using. So if you just tuned in and you're thinking, well, that doesn't look like the one that I've got, there's a brand new colorway available to download now. So I'm gonna pop this one there like that, and just tuck this in. So you can just, the lovely thing with these flowers is you can just build them up and you can kind of place them where you want them to go. So you can just build up your own little florals with these. So you've got everything in there to just build them how you want them to be. And obviously because of the new colourway, they work perfectly with the Seated in Serenity collection. So the colourway has, the new colourway that you can download now has been designed to work with that collection. So the flowers on here are just going to complement the flowers in there so well. And then you've got these little like berries. Bunny saying the sprigs. I've come to the conclusion that if I ask Bunny something and she doesn't know the answer, it's a sprig. And then let's tuck one in there. But they're great adding because they add the fullness in to the flowers. Just adding that little touch in builds them up. So I'm going to add a bit of pin flare now on him because I've given him a bit of shape, and he is just going to sit there like that. And then what I'm going to do, because obviously he needs to be holding something, so what I'm going to do is I am going to add a bit of glue on one side. Okay, so I've just added glue there, and then what I'm going to do is put one hand on top and one hand underneath, so it just looks as if he's holding it from like both sides. And then actually I'm going to pick him up. I'm going to put a bit of pin flare there just to help hold that up. So now if I lift that up, so we've got our card. So we've used the cherished glassware card shape. So this is the actual card base that we've used. But then I've also put the mat in from the fanned flourishes on the front there. But you can see the glass is actually the card base. But then we've used the sleek florals in there as well, and we've used the uplifting friend there as well. So it's a nice mix. It really does give it a refresh with the new colourway, and it's hard to believe, and I didn't think this until I seen the Legacy collection, because you get so used to the artwork from Carnation, until you look back, you don't realise how much the artwork's come on. It's like you look back at something and you think, like when we did the Legacy collection, you don't realise how far Carnation have come with the artwork and yeah, just how incredibly detailed they are. You do get so much, and the fact that you get this for free as well, like today you're getting the new artwork, new colourway, completely free of charge. So if you had the collection as well before, it also gives your collection that you had a new lease of life, because now you're going to look at it completely different because you've got completely different colourways to play with. So it's a win-win. Right, let's grab. But you can see it's such a lovely, it's a big collection as well, to get all of them. So you've got a lot in there to play around with. I'm going to grab another demo. So I've got, now for this one, we are going to use the tiara topped card shape. So I'm going to use the base for this to start off with, okay? And for this, we are going clean, simple, wedding, absolutely a sympathy card. This could be so many cards, okay? So I'm going to go in with the card base to start off with. So this was an add-on. This was an extra die that you could get with the Held Dear collection. It is still available on the website. And it is item number 240411. So if you want to grab that, it's $27.99, and that is the tiara topped card shape if you want to have a look at that. Now I've got the base for this, so this is the biggest die in that set. And I've cut out 2 pieces of cardstock. I've folded one just at the top, so you can see there, and that is giving me now my card base. Okay, so that's how that card is going to stand. So we've got our base like that. Then I'm going to go in with my next mat. So you do get, there's a lot of dies in this card shape that you get with all the mats and layers. So again, lots of different ways that you can actually configure this one to put together if you wanted to make apertures with it, or if you just wanted to use the mats and layers. There's lots of different ways to pop this one together. Right, so we're going to go in now with that next layer. So if I pop these off, that's going to go there, and then your next layer is the one with that beautiful detail on the top. Look at how incredibly detailed that is. It's so pretty, and for me that could be anything at all. It's such a detailed panel, but there's nothing specific about it. So that could be a Christmas card, a wedding card, a Valentine's card, a sympathy card. It could be absolutely anything. It's really detailed and it really does stand out. I'm going to add a bit of foam tape on the bottom of this. And then, now if I was doing this at home, I would probably cut a bit of tape to add around that edge as well, but just for speed I'm just going to leave that for now. This is going to sit on there, but look how detailed that looks. You could pop anything there, any collection that you have. You know, you've just got that bit that you need to worry about. That's kind of done for you, isn't it? So you could just worry about this part here if you don't, because I know sometimes I've had people say to me they struggle with like white space, or they struggle with the more clean and simple looking cards because they look at it and it doesn't look right, or it looks too bare, it doesn't look. But with this you'll never get that, because you've got such detail in the mats that it looks done almost straight away, doesn't it? You don't need to go in and add that much else to these. Now the center bit that I'm doing now, I'm just adding in the mats and layers. So the dies obviously do all the work for you. All I've done is just die cut these out, and then I've got one more. So we've added in the mats and layers, and now that you could quite easily pop a sentiment on there, look, and that could be a card, couldn't it? Look how much that stands out. And I've done this in white just to show you how effective that is, just in white. It looks amazing. That would be such a pretty wedding card or an engagement card or anything like that. But then you've also got this part that will fit on there as well, which again is so incredibly detailed. Wouldn't that look really nice as like if you cut two of them out and scored it there, so that stood up, and then you can have somebody's name on there for like place settings. That would look really lovely, wouldn't it? So lots that you could do with it. Do you know what it also makes me think of? And I don't know why, and you will probably completely disagree with me. Are you ready? I feel like it looks like a door. Yeah, or a window, like a little door or a window. She said she sees what I mean, but I don't think she does. Oh, that's a nice idea. So Bunny just said a stained glass window. Oh, you could even put a sheet of acetate behind it, get your alcohol pens, and then you can just colour in different section in different colours, and then it really would look like stained glass window then. And you could do that with the top. Or if you did that in black and then coloured the bits of acetate behind there, pop that on there. All you have to do is put a sentiment on there, because that would look so striking, wouldn't it, in black with the colours coming through. Oh, do you know what I just thought? You could do that, but the layer, so this layer that will have the detail on, put 2 layers of foam on there and put the tiny lights behind it. So the acetate would like light up from the back, but you'd have all the different colours then from the acetate on there, but you'd have the tiny lights lighting it up. Oh, Bunny's just said really Christmassy. Well, she's finally getting into the Christmas spirit. Have you started Christmas shopping? Oh well, you might have bought some Christmassy decorations or something, I don't know. You do not. So Bonnie just said she doesn't do her Christmas shopping until about 4 days before Christmas. Do you really? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it does get really busy, but you can do it online, Bunny. Wow. 4 days. Well, I bought a Christmas candle the other day. Yeah, for me, for the house. I was like, oh, that looks, it was like a candle and the lid was a snow globe. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I was like, is it too early to buy a Christmas candle? And then I was like, no, I know, it's not Halloween. Yeah, but I think, like, Christmas is just everywhere in the shops. Like every shop I go in, it's just full of Christmas. Yeah, it is. It does seem really early this year, but that might just be me. Right, so I've added in those mats and layers. Now look at how effective. Look at that. That looks stunning. Just like that. That could be, you know, you could change that for a sympathy. That could be a sympathy card, a wedding card, like that could be for absolutely anything, and it looks so incredibly effective. You can see all of those different layers. It really does draw your eye in, and you can see how detailed these panels are. Now I'm gonna bring in the fluttering by for this. So I've got some of these now. I'm just gonna like pinch these together so that they have that shape to them. These are so lovely, and again, it's something that will work with absolutely any collection as well. So I'm going to bring one in there, and then I've got one here. And then I got the little one. Well, I say little one, still a really nice size, but it's the smallest of sizes in there. And I'm going to stick him right there, like that, so you can see. Look at that. Doesn't it just look so? I think it's just the aesthetic of it as well. Just having it like that in white. that clean and simple look, but it does look so effective, and it's just testimony to the dyes that you can do something white on white on white and it still looks so detailed, so effective, because you've got all of that cut detail in there, all of the intricacy of that, and then just adding those butterflies in. I think that is just, that would catch, if I was walking past a stand, that would catch my eye looking at it. And again, so many different ways that you can mix and match that up as well. Right, let's move that out of the way and grab this. So you'll have to message us in and let me and Bunny know if you were like Bunny and you buy things 4 days before Christmas, or if you've started. Yeah, I think when you've got like a family and stuff, because like I'll do like my Christmas food shop like 4 days before Christmas, but yeah. But then I've got friends who, you know, they don't have children, so they don't need to be like super organized, but they will have finished their Christmas shopping by like the end of September. And that's crazy to me. And I'm like, part of me wishes I could be like that organized. No, I couldn't be that organized. And there's one time that I did try being organized, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna buy some stuff early. And I just ended up forgetting what I'd bought, and I bought like doubles of the same thing, and it just did not work for me. So there was definitely no hope in me being organised for Christmas. So I'm going to add, right, so I've popped some glue on there. I've just quickly pulled it off, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop this right next to that, like that. So that's going to be stuck on the underneath of that card shape. So that is just going to sit there like that. So we've got that, and then this is going to go on top. So just give that a little bit of shape, and then the same with the stop. I'm just going to give that, I'm just going to round it in my fingers and give that a bit of shape. And then we can pop this on there. So just add some pin flare along there, and that is just going to sit on there. So using the mat obviously for that bottle as the card base, and then this is just going to go on there like that, which I think looks really lovely. So I love that the bottles and the glass, they're all like different sizes, they're all different heights, different widths. So when you pop them together, they really work really, really well together. And then I've got the cork then, so I'm going to add a bit of glue, and then we'll pop that one on there like that. So that's just going to sit there. So we've got our bottles, and then I've got lots of different elements now. So I've got the Happy Mail. So let's do this one first. So you've got that almost like that bit of ribbon or that bit of string, and you've got like the letter bit. You could pop a sentiment on there, but you can see, look, how that envelope does open out. So you can easily tuck things into that. So if you wanted to tuck anything in, you can do that. And then this bit of string or ribbon, I am going to add this onto there like that. Let's cut that end off, and then a bit of glue on there, and then I'm going to just tuck that like that. So it looks as if that's just in the envelope. And then that is just going to sit there like that. So that is going to go there, like that. And then I'm going to bring in a couple of different things here. So I'm going to bring in this could be the message, so you could pop that in one of these. So it could be like the message in the bottle being sent. You know, it could be a scroll. It could be a mix of different things for that one. And I've got one of the tags as well. So this is going to kind of sit there like that. So what I want to do now is I just want to build up some of the florals around this. So I'm going to cut these stems down because I don't need these to be long, because obviously I'm not popping those into the bottle. I'm going to kind of like mix mash these and kind of just make up my own little floral display with them. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on there, and then a little bit on that side, and that's going to go there like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the scroll in. And then one of the great things about Pinflair is you can lift things up and tuck things in. So if I need to lift that up, I can absolutely do that. And then you've got this bit, which I think look, and these for like autumn decorations I feel are really popular. Like you just have loads of these in like a vase or a bowl or something, so you can mix them up that way. I'm going to add that in there, and I'm going to add another one coming the other side. That's going to go there. And then let's add some of these flowers in. So bring in them. Let's put some leaves for that. So you can, the sleek florals are so lovely the way they've been designed that you can almost just build up your own little bouquet or build your own flourishes. You can just make these go however you want them to go. They'll just work in all different shapes and directions that you want to place these. So I'm just going to tuck that in there, and then that's going to go, actually I think I might put that on top there or there. Let's leave that there. So let's add these in. If you pop that in there, and then you've got these smaller ones which are perfect to just tuck in. So if I add that in there like that, and I can add these little ones in, but these would look so perfect all year round. They're really vibrant colourways that you're getting in this new design. And I'm going to tuck that one there, and then just give this a bit of shape. So this is one of the tags. So those tags that you get in the Cherish glassware card shape, that's where that's come from. And then I'm just going to put a blob of glue on there and a blob on the end. So I have given that a bit of shape. And then I'm just going to tuck that there, like that. So then that will stand up like that and give us our card shape. So you can see again, using the cherished glassware card shape, but again, something so usable that you could work in different ways. This one with that lid makes me think of like, oh, what are they called? You know the things you have whiskey in? A decanter, that's it. Yeah, I can't remember what the proper name is, but that's what it makes me think of, like one of them. So you could mix it up for like mail cards as well, and you know, go down that route with it. So lots of different ways that you can bring them together. Let me move this and we'll just run through some of the design team samples so you can see those before we go. So we've got one here by Barbara. So you can see there, bringing, I love how she's done that, because it really looks like the flowers are like growing out of the ground, don't they? They look so cute. With that little rabbit there, look, holding the carrot. And then we've got this one by Vera. Look, he's so cute. And I love how Vera's added in some like glossy accent there on the bottom and some gems, look, to look like bubbles. Looks really, really effective. And then I've got one here by Pam, using seeds. Seeds. Oh, I really think, do you know with the flowers though, they really look like seeds. It might just be me, but like, it just looks like seeds. And then, oh, that's so cute. Oh, hang on. So Pam has messaged, oh my gosh, wait, ready? Oh, how cute is that? Ah, yeah, it was like carpet there, so I just assumed, and I didn't want to pull it and break it, but oh, how cute is he? Oh, that would be so cool for like a secret message, wouldn't it? Or you could even, like, if you were making cards for like teenagers and stuff, you could put like paper money on there, like put it in a little bag, so, and stick it to that, and then it's like they're getting the money out of the jar. That's cute. Really, really cute. And then we've got one here then, bringing in those flowers with the jar. They look really, really effective, and they lots of different colorways that you can mix these with. Then we've got one here by Sue. Look, holding his flowers. He just looks so adorable, doesn't he? And then I've got another one here by Pam, holding up, look, his message with the tree, the flowers. I love, again, that card shape. Really, really pretty. And again, using that same card shape, look how different. If I put the one I did, oh, right. How different do they look? And that's the exact same card shape. But they look so different, don't they? You know, so you can see bringing them in like an aperture, just using the larger matte layers, or bringing in all of those matte layers. They look so different, but yet it's the same card shape. So a really nice way of showing you that. And then I've got another one using that card shape. This one's done by Vera. Look, oh, that's so lovely, isn't it? With all those flowers built up there, you can really see how you can really bring all those flowers up and add in your sentiments as well. And they just work so well. Don't forget that it is a brand new, so all of the samples I've just shown you and the ones I'm using are from the brand new colorway from Held Dear, which is on the website, completely free of charge for you to download right now. The Held Dear collection though, we have got it on a show price for you. That does go back up to full price Monday. Was it Monday? Monday. So at 12 midnight on Monday, that is going to go back up to full price. Your show price is $99.99. You've got your free P&P in there as well. Now, we have been saying that the new colorway has been designed to work perfectly with Seated in Serenity, Me and Bunny will be back at 2 o'clock with the brand new Seated in Serenity collection. So if you missed the first show, make sure you come back and join us at 2.